From the central sun, I observe the goings and comings of mortals throughout the entire universe. I send piercing rays of white fire and blue. I also send blue lightning and yellow lightning. I am ever seeking to pierce the gloom, the doom, the ignorance, the out of alignment state of so many evolutions. I am gratified that you have comprehended what a science is, the science of the spoken word. I am gratified, beloved, that I might be in the heart of every living soul, stimulating the action of the yellow fire of the mind of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The councils of the God Star meet, and we deliberate as to how we can accelerate those who are willing to be accelerated in all fields of endeavor. First and foremost, that of bringing forth the spiritual equation that does ignite all else that must be accomplished in the development of the mind. We go then to the heart and the heart of hearts. We go to the Holy Christ Self, where there are those who have a Holy Christ Self. And we go to the threefold flame in those who have retained it. These have the God potential. All others must yet earn that God potential. Many who have never had it, and others who have lost it through the abuse of the flame and the Christ presence. Therefore we come to convey empowerment, chiefly on the first and the fourth rays. We come to do this, beloved, for there is an infinity of wisdom that can be chaliced in the heart and mind. Let us begin then at the beginning. Let us know that though you have much advanced teaching, it is putting into practice that teaching in depth with profound understanding of what is your course, what is your life. Some consider that they have taken up a means of earning a living, and that will fulfill the path and the role of Chilaship and the Ascension. It is well to earn one's livelihood. It is not well to turn one's back on a civilization to which one is indebted. To turn one's back and say, I will go here, I will go there, I will engage in this or that venture. It doesn't really matter what I do as long as I earn a living. This particular state of mind begets failure, for all have the Dharma, all have the calling, and all who know the mantle and have the fire of heart must be on the front lines of the dissemination by example of the teachings of the ascended masters. When you call to me, and the legions of angels that form the mighty blue eagle thought form descend to earth, who do they work through? They work through those who are prepared, who are ready, who are waiting for the coming of that mighty blue eagle, so that millions might be delivered, and other millions and billions of souls. The Darjeeling Council is assembled even during this dictation. They face many burdens, beloved, and they require many to work with them. El Moria has spoken to you of this most recently. I come also, for there must be a multiplication of the loaves and fishes if there is to be that victory. Thus my point here well taken, which I am reminded to present to you by other cosmic councils, is that the most important work of the day is the spiritualization of consciousness. This has been called the etherealization of consciousness and of civilization, where civilization rises to a higher level. Well, beloved, this is not automatic. It cannot be automatic. All that happens anywhere in the universe is through the heart flame of the one and the millions. It would be well if those of you of similar background, education, profession, and training should meet when you come to these conclaves of the summer and at the conferences in the rest of the year, that you might work together and consider pooling your knowledge, pooling the science that you embody, planning as to how you can attract others to the spiritual path who also have their degrees in areas that can make the world go forward through many aspects and opportunities. I have come today principally to radiate the light rays of the sun into your crown chakra and into your heart, that heart and head and hand might be a trinity, and that you might see that every effort taken must be taken with the immediate and long-range goal at hand of accelerating consciousness, spiritual consciousness. For when each individual has that spiritual consciousness, he can easily internalize the material consciousness. Foundations can be laid for the development, early and late development of children and adults. But if these foundations are not laid upon a spiritual premise, a spiritual internalization of God, a spiritual fanning of the flame of God, then that which is built in matter will crumble away as it has always crumbled away. And those who have been tutored and trained in this life, though they may have that learning in their causal bodies, may return again to a civilization that is far backward than this one, and not retain what they have gained. For a continuity of life, reincarnation upon reincarnation, there must be the spiritualization of chakras of raised sacred fire, that the imprint by fire upon the soul and mind shall bring to the fore of that one's consciousness, even when the child is in the womb, of the former things that he has learned. Thus, while you consider a stimulus to quicken the mind and its development and to quicken the children who come into your world, so remember, the quickening of the spiritual consciousness is that which will cause the foundations laid to endure. I trust you will understand this, beloved, for there is such a mad race for children to succeed, for children to go beyond their peers, especially in such countries where, if they do not pass certain tests by the age of 4 or 5, they are not even considered for the professional path for the rest of their lives. Think of this, beloved, and think of it being placed as such a burden upon children without the corresponding balance of spiritualization of consciousness. Thus it is easy to see that some of the very best fruits from the tree of life who are being born today are being denied at a very young age of the opportunities that they must take advantage of in order to fulfill their highest reason for being, and that being the bringing in of the golden age, so that that which is taking place in the etheric cities and universities of the spirit in the heaven world might one day, and one day very soon, be happening, be putting into place in this octave. Now, beloved, there is the question of accelerated learning, and there is the question of spiritualization. I turn now, therefore, to the subject of war in the earth, and the engines of war and the fallen angels who are remnants, such as relics of dinosaurs, come again to destroy and murder innocent people, all for territory, all for a clump of earth. The situation in Bosnia has become mired simply because you have lacked the leadership in this nation. Other nations have lacked the leadership. They have blamed it on NATO. They have worked through the United Nations instead of using the ages-old means of planning a battle, planning a conquest, going for it, and having done with it in the very early stages of the battle, before there is proliferation, before there is demoralization, entrenchment, the violation of women and children, the violation of people themselves who are not given the means wherewith to defend themselves by some insane logic of those members of governments who ought not to be fit to represent the people of their nations, because they have allowed this Holocaust to continue and to continue and to continue. The factor of war in the earth is rearing its head, and you will see that head rearing more boldly as the decade turns and the next century comes in. There are many planning wars against nations in the earth, and there are many who are jealous of these United States, who would just as soon destroy the entire nation. They are building their armaments and their fanaticism for religious reasons and other reasons is spilling over into many nations. When you see the fanaticism of these laggards, you understand why the edict has gone forth, that many of them must be taken to other planes and other planets, that they might not be the ones who will trigger some kind of a world war or an interplanetary war or an intergalactic war. You have not seen the end of war, beloved, and from my vantage in the God Star, and as I walk up and down the earth, I see the crazed minds of millions, millions of individuals who would rather have a war than have peace. They are the disenfranchised. They are the ones who are non-forgiving. They are the ones whom death moves with, for they are dead themselves. Do not underestimate these individuals. There are other thousands of individuals who are moving with the cocaine traffic, the marijuana and all types of drugs, heroin, etc., and these being filtered into the nations of the West. This results, beloved, in the decay of the mind, in the debilitation of the children. Where shall the next generation appear? You will see, therefore, that you are in a full-scale war in this hemisphere for the minds and hearts of the people who have imbibed these drugs. And you have seen that those who ought to defend you and your children have turned their heads aside and would rather not look, rather not think about it, count the decades they have remaining in embodiment, and leave it to the next generation to solve these problems. These are the types of individuals you see in embodiment day after day upon this planet. They do not care. They have squandered their life force in the riotous living. They have misused the light of their chakras. They do not have the energy, the love, the mind, the verve, the will to tackle these matters, and therefore these matters grow as a cancer. I say to one and all, look around you. Look at the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds and the 10-year-olds. What shall they do with a civilization that you bequeath to them if you do not fight the battles of your own time and decade and keep on turning them back to others who may come afterward? This world is a very sorry place today, a very sorry place, and I repeat, there are many who are determined to have war, and to have war on a global scale. They have not surrendered internally. They have carried that in mind for so long that they can see no other goal than to destroy the United States of America. I bring these subjects to your attention because I work with the 24 elders, I work with the councils who govern the destiny of this nation. And I tell you, there is much to be done. You hardly know where to turn to cover all of the problems that are set before you. You must not close your eyes to them. You must not Depart from knowing the news of the day and the situations that are going on here and there and everywhere, to the destruction of morality, the destruction of the family, the destruction of nations and integrity and honor, and finally the destruction of true love itself, one to another, within families, within all peoples. Blessed ones, many exciting things are happening in the field of education, and you have heard speakers talk about these things. But I tell you, while you are excited about this, and those whom you can reach with these teaching methods, remember that there are millions upon millions upon millions of children who will be brought up without education, without proper nourishment, without even the strength to think, to write, to learn. These are again the disenfranchised, and they will be there, and they will demand your care, and ultimately they may well rise up against all those who have denied them the opportunities that are for all under the Master Saint Germain. I, Surya, speak to you then of empowerment by the first ray. I speak to you of that empowerment, for I say day by day, as you guard the youth of the throat chakra, as you keep that throat chakra steady, as you keep that blue flame ray steady, you are pouring into the earth, as it were, rods of blue power. And all of us who have accelerated on the fourth ray and on the first ray, we have sent not simply rays of light, but rods of blue fire, rods of white fire, and we are planting these in the earth for the balancing of earth in all of the conditions I have already named to you. By putting rods in the earth, we are adding strength, as you would add strength to the building of a skyscraper, having it with reinforced steel or other metals. And so we must do this with the planet, because the people are so weak, their minds are weak, their bodies are weak. So from what should they derive their strength, if they cannot call to Almighty God and receive that strength, which many cannot and do not, because they do not see the exercise of the power of the spoken word as the means of their liberation? So, beloved, during this conference, from the beginning to the end, my legions of light of the God Star, and the great teams of conquerors, legions of light that are fierce and powerful, they have come, and you would mistake them for the hard hats in the cities. You would think that they are just like others, until you approach and you begin to see the aura and the glistening white of the type of armor that they wear. They wear this armor that makes them impervious, and they have been given a very complex formula by my counsels, whereby the crisscrossing of these rods through the earth, through the very center to the other side in all angles, will be the factor that will hold the earth for the evolutions to come, for the root races to come, for those of you who will move into the next century and educate your children and raise them up. The earth is being reinforced, beloved, because it is the only way that we see to establish these deep foundations, whereby it will simply not come crumbling apart as it otherwise would. The earth is, as it has been for eons, in a state of change. Earth changes, volcanic eruptions, rising and sinking of land masses, changes in the temperatures of the poles, the melting of the ice caps, and so forth. Blessed ones, these changes show you that Earth is by no means finished its complexity of development, of change, of settling, and so forth. Thus, regularly, individuals, countries, cities are hit with earthquakes and buried entirely as in the days of Pompeii. These things will continue, but the rods, beloved, visualize the rods. You as children have played pick-up sticks, and you note how when they fall against each other, they fall in irregular ways. We have established irregular yet very scientific mathematical patterns for the placement of the rods, for the guarding of the nucleus, of the holding together of this planet. This we announce to you so that you can give your calls to the Blu-ray masters and give the Blu-ray decrees, thereby reinforcing in the physical these rods. On the outer surface of the earth they cannot be seen, but in the interior of the earth they are physical, beloved, because it is the physical earth that requires it. Thus, with long contemplation and consideration of many counsels, we have determined that this is the very best offering of all of the Blu-ray masters. And when we had concluded that this would be our offering, then we did also conclude that this summer conference and Summit University must be emphasized by all of the Blu-ray masters coming together. We ask you to join us as our chelas. We ask you to call to us that you might be made our chelas. We will accept you one and all at a certain level as you rise to the level where you can be a chela with a capital C. We ask you to continue this for the rest of your lives. There is nothing more important than the guarding of the white fire and the white fire core of the earth, the white fire core of the very atoms of your beings, and the rings, electronic blue rings of light surrounding that white fire core. Nothing more important, beloved, because civilization is disintegrating, society is disintegrating, the school systems are disintegrating, the family is disintegrating, and the minds of the youth are disintegrating. Thus, for integration we have come, beloved. For integration we have come. For integration we have come. I, God Harmony, address you, and I comment on the dictation of the god Surya. I explain to you, for I am the living flame of harmony, that all people in the earth require my ministrations. Many legions of angels have volunteered and been assigned to me. They have come from various systems of worlds, for they see how much inharmony there is, even within the very cells of the body, within individuals, within societies, within groups, within associations, within nations, in neighborhoods. What is this inharmony? What is this? So easily are so many thrown because what another has said, a stone that has been thrown, or a stick, or this or that. What is it, beloved? I will tell you one major factor, and that is the absence of the Divine Mother Omega in the earth. And those of earth are like children, one and all, crying for their Divine Mother in heaven, crying out to be nurtured, to be cared for. And she does not come, and she does not come, and they become angry. Yet they have chased her out of the earth long, long ago. As in Kabbalah, when the mother is perceived as being in exile in the earth, so the mother is exiled in heaven, for the inharmony of her children universally does not allow her to enter in. Harmony has been preached to you almost for centuries, you might say, for how many times you have ever heard this teaching on keeping your harmony. Your very life and health depends upon your harmony. The joy and the singing of atoms and molecules and cells and organs in your body, the very joy of God throughout all of the creation. This harmony you must find. Call it peace if you will, but whatever you call it, beloved, establish that inner sense of your own completeness, your own internal happiness that does not require that you derive your happiness from others, but only from the wellspring of God that wells up within you. I invite you to sing to the song that was written for me, to the God of harmony. Sing it now, using your songbooks. I ask you to sing it 3 times, and I ask you during that period, as you sing, to make a deep resolution in your heart that you will discover the causes of inharmony within yourself, so that you can heal those causes. Understanding is the key to harmony. 467. This is a meditation. Please be seated. You are in deep meditation upon your own soul and the causes of inharmony in your life.
Expand, blazing by the flame, expand. come, whirling action with sacred fire, whirling dance, sacred dance, stepping on in harmony. Let the word go forth lovingly. She will come, a cosmic dance we aspire. She will come, with whirling action with sacred fire, whirling dance, sacred dance, stepping out in harmony. Let the word go forth lovingly. Expand, expand, mighty people plain. Expand, expand, high not I am named. Set me free, harmony, love is the key. Let it flow, let the word go forth lovingly. Expand, expand, blazing by the flame. Expand, expand, high not I am named. Set me free, harmony, love is the key. Let it flow, let the word go forth lovingly. Lovingly. We walk on harmony.
Some who have visited my retreat, ascended masters of the ages, have stated that the only real harmony in the earth is silence. In the misuse of the chakras, you find the breaking of the law of harmony. The breaking of the law of harmony in the earth since the fall of the souls of light from higher octaves. This breaking of that law has continued from that day forward. The breaking of the law of harmony causes disintegration. It causes the coming undone of energy locked into energy, of molecule locked into molecule. This is why you see so much disease in the earth. It is the disintegration. It is simply life and spirals of life falling apart. When you then attempt to maintain harmony, you deal with all the anti-harmony of the planet that assails you. Thus Saint Germain has given to you the mighty tube of light with the violet fire in the midst. Thus he has given that to you to insulate you from the inharmony of the world, so that all that you really have to do is maintain that tube of light when it is assailed by inharmonious ones, and to keep your own harmony within the tube of light. To refortify that pillar of fire daily is surely a priority. Some of you were not able to say that you are at peace with yourselves. Is it because you are not in harmony with yourself? This you must study. As harmony is placed over the earth now from my causal body and the rings of the causal body, I experience immense pain. Yes, God-free beings, ascended masters, and those who have attained to the oneness of God, when we place ourselves in the earth and our causal body in the earth, we then find ourselves also subject to the matters of the earth. I do this, beloved, for the sake of the light-bearers who have been, who are, and who are to come. For I know that life is a challenge. It is a major challenge, and we must consider that the keeping of harmony requires our reinforcement. You have had reinforcement from the God star Sirius. Now I bring you reinforcement of my causal body. I pray that you will understand that there is no effort, no plan, no undertaking, no group activity or a single work of a single individual that can be fulfilled if the harmony is continuously broken, thereby interrupted, and therefore as disintegration, falling apart. I, by the blue ray of my anointing, by the first ray of the will of God, I am intensifying the bands of my causal body, all of which contain harmony on different rays, and in the 5 secret rays. This harmony that I place over the earth extends beyond the stratosphere. This harmony is meant to be a magnet. I place then rings of the magnetization of God superimposed upon the rings of my causal body. There are other masters and those who are one with God, who have taken counsel with me in this effort. They have joined me. Their causal bodies merge with mine, strengthening and intensifying. We do this to support those who have placed themselves on the front lines of battle in every field of human endeavor, that the harmony we bring might allow them to continue to develop what they must develop for humanity, inventions, cures for physical ailments, every subject that can come to mind. We bring then the rings and spheres of our causal bodies. So now when you attempt to maintain harmony, you shall be greatly reinforced. And as long as you use your calls to Archangel Michael and the Masters of the First Ray, you will take note that it is somewhat easier for you to maintain your harmony because you have this reinforcement. The legions who accompany me are meshing the causal bodies with the causal bodies of all Earth's evolutions. This is almost what you would call an engineering feat. Yet it is a spiritual feat, nevertheless, no less complex than an earthly undertaking. Place your meditation now at the third eye. See through that third eye how the spheres are imposed upon the earth, how you can see through the translucent spheres Golden Age civilizations to come that will be based on the law of harmony. As you look through your third eye, you can see bodies, physical bodies being transformed, cells radiating light, organs radiating greater light, all because the individual's self-discipline reinforced by us has caused him to maintain greater harmony. Harmony then is the true source of everlasting life, the principal quality of the tree of life, the fruit of harmony. Think of this, beloved, when you are fully in harmony with God, you are immortal, for God is immortal. In other words, the 7 bands and the 5 secret rays bring you back to your original potential before you ever crossed the line of a single inharmony. When I am silent, I encourage you to look, to listen, to go within, and to kneel within before your Holy Christ self, requesting intercession for the God control of your harmony at all times. Do this now in the interior of your being. Now from the spheres of our causal bodies, light tingles. Light tingles in your bodies, 4 lower bodies. This tingling sensation again relates to the quality of immortality and eternal life that you shall attain to because you have God harmony. That tingling you may sense or you may actually feel, but it is the tingling that happens to your cells, to your body, when you are in harmony. Since I have stepped up the harmony in your 4 lower bodies, you can even begin to feel it. The spin of the electrons is reversed, and you begin to sense that you are entering your immortality. Harmony is the cure of old age, decrepitude, death. Harmony is the cure for sin. Imbibe this by breathing deeply and exhaling. Do you see how quickly Lord Maitreya, as the Lord God who walked in the Garden of Eden, may turn to you and say, for your service, for your love, I reverse the death spiral. I set within you the positive spiral of the life everlasting. And only in the twinkling of an eye would you see, step by step, in moments, in seconds, the reversing of the entire downward spiral that began when you first stepped into the lower octaves and crossed the line of the law of God. It was very easy to leave the mystery school and to join lower evolutions that lived on planet Earth. Beloved ones, the centuries have been long, very, very long. But when the day and the hour comes, when your causal body surrounds you, the lower figure in the chart, and you are ready for your ascension, you will be ushered in to receive assistance if necessary in the cave of symbols as you sit in the atomic accelerator. And you will find that very quickly all that you had lost is returned. It is not returned day by day, but it is returned as the fruit of your ultimate victory in your ultimate lifetime. The reward of everlasting life is the crown of the conclusion of the ascension ceremony, beloved. Until then, you can invoke the light. You can direct the fire of God into your atoms. You can prolong life by expanding the threefold flame. But due to the dispensation of your descent, you will not know what you had in the beginning until the final ending. Nevertheless, it shall come. It shall come quickly. For when you transcend time and space and enter the infinite spheres, you will look back and say, it was all a mirage and a dream, and I have made it through, and I am home. Thus, harmony is the price you must pay for your ascension. It is timely that I remind you of this, and I have determined not only to remind you, but to place such an intensity of spheres of light around the earth that all who are to ascend in this dispensation can do it. You can do it if you fulfill all other requirements. And I tell you, beloved, it would surely be folly for you to walk away from this opportunity. For I shall not sustain forever my causal body around the earth, but I shall see through those who are to ascend in this life. Thus I seal you, and I extend to you my profound love. I tell you that the key to harmony is to think and focus on things harmonious. Simple. A simple rule of thumb: take your attention off the inharmony, put it on sublime, fruitful, and practical love. In the fullness of joy, I bless you, my children. Take your seats, please.